Welcome, friends and enemies, to episode 70 of the Adventure of the Bane Glorious. We have everybody here. We've got Jess.
Hello.
We've got Simon.
Hello.
We've got Kathryn.
Hello.
We've got Ed.
Bonjour.
And we've got our very special guest star, Adam Broad.
Hi, campers.
So, last time, you were getting ready to set off for the competition in Neverwinter. Flint did some work on his ship and buried the hatchet with Saluk. Juniper informed Orkins that her tasks were very, very important and needed doing. Erallur went over this and said that maybe that was less important, but the tasks that she was assigning them were more important. And a discussion of them hiring an employee was had and decided upon. You set off and had an uneventful journey up to Neverwinter, where you had a brief foray into the organised crime of the city, where Flint tried to get a permit for the boat and felt like maybe he was getting ripped off. You went in search of a place to stay and found the Shining Serpent Tavern, and then proceeded over the course of the month to investigate the possible other competitors that were going to take part in this competition in TikTok Tower and TikTok Tower itself. You discovered what you believed to be a few of the competitors, and also found where TikTok Tower was, and a little bit more information regarding Sir Olamphi, the individual who was holding the competition. When the day came, you went to the tower itself and were greeted very pleasantly by Sir Olamphi, given your teleportation bands that would zip you out should any of you fall unconscious. And then the competition began, and you went through a room with a rather unpleasant cloaker that wrapped itself around Juniper before you could dispatch it, and then took you into a strange prismatic room with complicated tile puzzles and some confusion about what columns and rows are. And I realised that that's my linguistic fault, because I should have said columns instead of rows. Thank you for pointing that out to me, Simon. You then were shunted, once you had managed to solve the tile puzzle, into a room that connected with another room, and the gnomes from the room that connected to yours came in and decided that they wanted to fight you. So you are currently facing off against the Sisters Skipstone in a couple of chambers, including the prismatic chamber and the one that was earlier filled by water. Can you roll initiative for me, please?
Woo! 4.
Yeah.
The streak continues.
Okay, 25 to 20. Saluk?
24.
20 to 15.
Truffle is 16.
And Elsie?
Elsie is 17.
Adam, is Elsie spelt with an IE or?
Yeah, IE.
15 to 10. Nobody? Okay. Oh, Jess. What did you get?
Yeah, 12.
12 for Juniper. And then Erallur?
4.
Okay, so it is...
And Flint
Oh,
with
and Flint,
a 3.
sorry. And Flint with a 3.
Aw.
Wow, okay.
What's your initiative?
Oh, wait, no, sorry,
Three.
not 3. 5. Sorry,
Okay.
my bad.
Oh, wow.
Sorry.
What
That's
a
much
difference.
better. That's much
It's
better.
above me now. So.
Yeah.
Okay, so the run is Saluk first, Elsie second, Truffle third, Juniper fourth, Flint after that, Erallur after that, and then the other Skipstone sister, because I rolled a 2.
What the hell, Maud?
Maud.
Maud.
Amazing.
Maud!
Okay, so Saluk, it is your turn first. The gnomes have come up fairly close to you from the chamber that they were in. They stormed up to you quite quickly to get into your face, despite the fact that they are considerably smaller than you are. So what would you like to do?
Okay, so which one is closest to me?
That would be Maud, the one with the crackling hands and strange scar across part of her face.
Sorry, can I just ask, did they do something to show they are attacking us?
They said, "Are we going to fight them?"
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And then got out their weapons or
Okay.
started their hands crackling. So yes.
Cool.
I don't know, I still think there's a lot of wiggle room there.
Yeah.
That was going to be my question as well. Okay. Aha, okay, cool. So, I run up to Maud.
Okay. So that would use 10 feet of your movement.
I'll do just an unarmed strike,
Okay.
which is 20.
That will hit, definitely.
and that would hit for 8
Okay.
bludgeoning.
Right.
He's using the flat of his palms, not his talons.
Just gorge them.
Okay, so Salute
Um,
sprints up, bunches the talon, and does a swift blow to the solar plexus. Maud just goes, ooh!
And from that, I'll spend 1 key point for the flurry of blows.
Okay, roll 2 more attacks then.
Uh-huh. Ooh, the first of which is a 12.
That still hits.
Oh, well, right. And that hits for 11.
Okay.
And from that, I'm going to try and knock her over with that. So it's a dex saving throw for her.
Okay. What DC is it?
15.
Oh, that bubbled about a lot. No, she is knocked over.
Cool.
So with the second blow, you see the talon land on the temple, and she disorientates us and falls to the floor.
Okay. And then while she's on the floor, I give her an unarmed kick.
Okay.
Can I kick with an unarmed strike?
You can, yes, and you would get advantage because she's prone.
It didn't help. 14, but that still hits anyway.
Yeah, it does.
And that would be 12.
Okay. So a rapid series of blows to Maud, and she is on the ground as Saluk is standing over her and kicking her in the belly.
Cool. And from that, I then go up in the air and go 20 meters the other side of them, so they're flanked.
Okay, so when you say 20 meters the other side of them, do you mean 20?
Horizontal.
We're doing units in feet.
I don't mean
Just 'cause-
meters, I mean feet.
Yeah, so you're up in the air, or do you land?
Yeah, land.
Okay.
I go away.
Okay, so you're the other side of them,
Yeah.
but not close.
No.
Okay, got it.
It's like a retreat but flank.
Got it. Okay.
Retreat butt flank.
Okay. She wouldn't get an attack of opportunity on you because she's prone, so that's fine.
I also, they don't get attacks of opportunity on me anyway.
Oh,
Let me find it.
is that
again.
because of your special monk abilities?
Yes, which I can't find, but in essence, it means if I attack them, even if the attack is unsuccessful, then they can't do opportunity attacks.
Okay, that's fine. Cool. Okay, is that the end of your turn?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Elsie, you're up. You've just seen your sister get laid out by
Oh,
this strange bird man.
this is not the time to be stupid, Maud. So I then...
Stupid Maud.
Stupid Maud.
Yeah, Maud.
Cast a fog cloud.
Okay. Where do you put it?
Well, it's got a 20-foot radius, so I do it at the most central point that would engulf all of them if I can.
Okay, so it's 20-foot radius, so it's a 40-foot diameter. It would fill most of the room. I think, yeah, it would catch pretty much everybody. I think Flint and Saluk would just be on the very edge of it and wouldn't necessarily be in it, but obviously it obscures stuff within it, so they can't necessarily see even if they're outside it.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see Elsie go through a variety of hand motions, and from her hands, this bloom of dense fog emanates out into the room and starts to obscure everything.
So who's the closest to me?
That would be Erallur.
Right, okay. How far is Juniper?
She is 10 feet from you.
Right, okay. So I then will sneak behind Juniper and hopefully she won't see me or sense me
Okay,
because of the fog.
I'll say make a stealth check for that, and Juniper make a perception check.
Okay.
You're very good or very bad. Familiar with that face.
I got a natural 20.
Okay.
I mean, I got an 11.
Okay. So, Elsie, you are very confident that you are hidden from this dog person, and you sneak up behind them and you can see them in the fog.
And then I will then just obviously, I already have my daggers out, but I'm then just ready.
Okay, so this is a bit of a funny one. Because of the fog, things are obscured, but Juniper doesn't know that you're there. So I will say just make a straight roll rather than advantage or disadvantage, because in the fog cloud, technically speaking, things should be at disadvantage, but because you've snuck up on her, it would be at advantage, so it's just a normal roll. I think that's fair.
Yeah, well, I got 10. I'm not adding anything to that, am I?
You'd be adding your proficiency and dex.
Oh, okay. So 17.
Does that hit, Jess?
What's that hit?
Okay.
Do you what?
Oh, was I attacking? I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
Because I thought because I'd done the spell, that was my action.
Oh, of course it is. Yes. Sorry. That's my fault. So yeah, you sneak up and that's all.
Yeah, I'm
Sorry.
prepared.
Yeah. Okay. That's fine. So that's the end of your turn.
That's the end of my turn.
Okay. It is now Truffle's turn. Flitting next to you frantically, Flint, in the fog, unable to see much.
So, Truffle is going to use Poison Breath in the direction of where Maud was, which will hopefully have the additional effect of blowing away some of the fog cloud.
Okay, that's interesting. So it's a dex save?
So, yeah, it's a dex save. So I want to try and focus it so it's only hitting Maud. I don't know that Elsie has moved yet, so just in that direction.
Okay, that makes sense. So because Maud is prone, it would usually be at disadvantage, but because of the fog, it's a straight roll. Does that seem fair?
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Okay. So dex save, that's cocked, which is annoying because it was an 18. What's the save?
It's a mere 11.
Oh, well.
Oh, no, it's a Constitution saving throw.
It's a Constitution. Okay. If it had been a dex, she would have failed. But because it's a Constitution, she succeeds. So she does take half damage.
Yeah, so 5. So it's only 10 points of poison damage. But yeah, does that do anything to the fog?
That's a good question because it's quite concentrated.
Yeah, because fog cloud, I believe, disperses after a moderate or high wind, I think.
That's exactly what it says on. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, how big is the cone?
It's a 15-foot cone.
Okay. So yeah, I would say the bit in between where that hits, you can see a fairly clear path. But because you're in a contained room and the spell is a concentration spell, it starts to slowly close back up again as the fog starts to move back in. So there is a clear path, and it looks like it'll be open for a little while, but not the entire way through, as long as Elsie is concentrating on it.
Sure thing.
Okay. Is Truffle moving anywhere or staying where he is?
I think he'll just stay where he is, I think.
Okay, so it is now Juniper's turn.
Yay! Okie dokie. So I'm guessing because I didn't perceive Adam, I won't attack Adam because that wouldn't really work, would it?
No, probably
Because
not.
I'll be like, I'm going to attack this random bit of air.
Yeah. And Juniper, you are fairly close to the passage that has been cleared by Truffle, so you can see Maud lying on the ground.
Yes, wonderful. So I think against Maud, I would like to. I forgot how much of Juniper is not straight damage. I would like to use Hideous Laughter.
Okay.
So could the please make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, no. Yes, so that's a natural 1.
Oh, yeah, no.
She has -2. So it is a -1.
A -1. Damn. So basically everything is hilariously funny and they cannot stand up.
Okay, so you just
They're
hear
too busy laughing.
echoing through the fog in a weird, eerie laugh is Maud's high-pitched tone. Elsie, this is not going well.
It really isn't.
And as a bonus action, I would like to command my 2 remaining animal skeletons to attack.
Okay, to attack Maud.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So go for it.
Cool. Hold on. Let me look at what their stats are, I guess. Stats 5e.
They would definitely do this with advantage as well.
Nice.
Oh, they're the same as a Tarask? Whoa.
Okay.
How strange.
So it'll just be a weapon attack. First one is a 19 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Cool. It's not a lot of damage. 4 damage. And the next one, oh, that's only 11.
That will still hit.
Oh, lovely. Okay. And that's a 6 damage.
That's a 6. Okay. So these 2 skeletons rush forwards through the passage in the fog and bite down on the hysterical Maud, who finds this even funnier than before, despite the fact that she's bleeding heavily. Okay, is that the end of your turn? Or are you moving any?
Where exactly am I? I'm sort of...
You are about 3 feet away from Flint, fairly close to the door that you just got to at the end of the
No, I think
chamber.
I would probably stay there because I would
Okay.
perceive it to be safe, even though
Okay.
it isn't.
That's fine. Flint, it is now your turn.
Okay, where am I in relation to everything that's going on?
You're just near the door as well, but slightly to the right of the chamber.
Okay, and the fog cloud is still in front of me?
It is, yeah, apart
Okay.
from that passage that you've opened.
Okay. I'm going to do a force blast from my cannon. So it's a 15-foot cone. So I kind of just want to do it in the middle of the fog, but just above everyone's heads.
Yeah.
Because I assume it's
We're not
like...
in the stalactite room, are we?
No.
Okay.
So yeah, just above everyone's heads
Important detail, Kathryn. Well done.
to try and disperse the fog without necessarily hitting anyone with the blast. So do you want me to roll for that? Or, I mean, it's a strength save from everyone affected, but I'm trying to miss
But you're
everyone.
shooting it above their heads. I'll say make an attack roll anyway, just to see how well it
accurate my
goes.
misses.
Yeah, well.
So that's 19.
Okay, so yeah, you are fairly confident you're aiming high enough to be above everybody's heads, and there is this louder whoomph than usual as this invisible force juts through the fog cloud, and you see, Elsie, your magic as it's just pushed to either side of the room, and now there's this weird fingers of fog effect at either side, but you have been unveiled, though nobody seems to have spotted you yet.
I just blow the end of my cannon. Just
Okay. And are you doing anything else?
no, I'll stay where I am.
Okay. Erallur, it is your turn.
Okay, so I'm going to say to Maud, stupid Maud. I didn't say that. In fact, Michael,
Yes.
as I'm about to cast a level 2 spell,
Mm-hmm.
would you allow me to use Skipping Stone before the spell happens?
I think it's supposed to happen
Okay.
after, because it's an effect.
It's fine.
Of
It was just a
casting the spell.
flare thing.
Yeah.
I don't even need to do it at all. Okay, so I'll just say to Maud, might I suggest that we work together for the rest of this competition? And then I use suggestion with heightened spell to give her disadvantage.
Okay.
And it's a wisdom save.
Okay. Let's see how poorly she does on this then. Oh, she rolled quite well. What's the DC?
16. But remember, it's disadvantage.
Yes, I rolled at disadvantage. Both times I rolled a 16. But as you are well aware, she has a -2, so she fails.
Okay.
So, yes, she is still laughing, but you get the sense in your innate magic that you have successfully cast a spell over her.
And then I'm going to say to everyone in the room, weapons down, don't attack anymore, please.
Okay, could you make a persuasion check?
Yeah.
And Adam, could you... Well,
I'm
I
actually very
suppose it's kind of...
persuasive.
Yeah,
You
I
wouldn't
suppose
guess.
it's up to you as to whether you think that you're persuaded by this, I suppose, but...
No.
I'm more talking to the others to make sure they don't attack more,
Got it,
because
okay.
will cancel out the natural 20.
Erallur is very convincing. It seems that she's been successful in whatever she suggested to Maud, despite the fact that Maud is still laughing hysterically. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, well, I don't really know where I am right now.
You are a little way further into the room than
Yeah.
Flint and Juniper, on the right-hand side, but still fairly close to the door.
Okay, I'll stay there, I think.
Yeah, okay.
That's fine.
Cool. It's now Maud's turn. I believe because she's laughing, she can't do anything until she saves against it. Is that correct, Jess?
Yeah, at the end of a turn, she can do another
Okay.
saving throw.
So let's
But-
see.
Yeah. Only at the end, so.
So she's still laughing. Okay, that is the end of that. Saluk, it is now your turn.
Okay, does Elsie?
Yes.
Which way is Elsie facing in relation to me?
Well, given that you flew to the other side of the room and there is now a passageway along the entirety of it, you can see Elsie. She is behind Juniper, almost directly in a line from where you are standing, and sneaking up on her, daggers out.
Does her being turned away from me give me any sort of advantage?
She's not turned away from you because Juniper is facing you and Elsie is behind
Sorry.
her.
Misunderstood. Okay. I charge directly at her
Okay.
around
What's your movement? I know it's insane, but what is it?
55.
Yeah, you can definitely get across there.
Yeah.
So this angry Birdman sprints across the room towards you,
Like-
Juniper.
A petulant squawk.
And you're really not sure. You think maybe Erallur's magic went haywire and has made Sir Luke an enemy of you now? Has it made Maud a friend? But there's a loud squawk as he runs towards you.
And I'm going to try and grapple them.
Okay, so that's a contested strength check.
Me?
Yes.
Can I use my dex?
No. Grappling is to do with strength, Simon.
What if I'm quick about it?
Or
I'm going to use my inspiration.
That was quick.
Nice.
10.
You successfully grapple Elsie.
Cool.
put me down, you big bird brain.
I get on a grapple, and then with my remaining movement, no, I can't fly up holding somebody because it wouldn't make sense because I can't fly with armor on. You chonky.
You've got like little weak wings.
Yeah, I hold it tight and I say, we only started because you said you wanted a fight. Stop before anybody gets hurt any more than they have been.
Yes. Okay, so Elsie, it is now your turn, and you are held, your little legs skipping a little bit off the floor. Juniper, you swing round and see that Sir Luke wasn't going for you, but was actually perhaps saving you from getting stabbed.
Right. This has not gone to plan. Why did you have to be so tall? Maud, how are you doing over there? Well, that's not very helpful.
She's just pointing and laughing at you specifically.
Yes, really not helpful, Maud. But surely we would have to face each other at some point, so we might as well just get it over with.
Who are you talking to?
Or I assume all of you.
Okay.
Yeah, that was directed to all of you in a way, or everyone in the room.
Are you still grappled?
Yes.
Yes. Are you going to try and fight your way out of the grapple? Or stab Sir Luke?
I'm not gonna just yet. I'm assessing the situation.
Okay. So, are you holding an action, or are we just moving?
Oh
on?
yes, shit, we're still in combat.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, I will hold an attack because obviously I don't know that this bird person can't fly. Well,
That's true. Yeah.
So I'm going to hold an action in case he starts to fly.
Okay, and what are you going to do? What's that action going to be?
It would just be a normal attack.
Okay, got it.
How
Right.
tall is this little person?
About 4 feet.
Yeah, gnome. I'm a gnome, so.
Okay. So you're not that much shorter than me.
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Truffle's turn.
Truffle is just going to fly in front of Elsie's face and just hover there with her new avian companion, and just, if he had eyes, he would squint, but he just gives a little zzz, and he's going to hold a peck action just in case this Elsie character tries anything.
Okay, Juniper, it's now your turn.
Okay. I will dispel hideous laughter.
Okay, so the laughter subsides.
Yeah. I think I can do that as a bonus action, I think.
Yes, I believe you can.
I will also hold an action.
Okay.
So if Maud gets up and starts stabbing people,
Okay, what is your action?
I will cast Thunderclap at her.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Flint, it is now your turn.
I mean, I can't do anything without hitting anyone, so I'm just going to lean expectantly on my cannon and just wait for all of this to blow over.
Okay. Erallur?
Yeah, similar.
Okay.
I think I'm holding an action against
Oh,
Elsie
right.
though, because obviously if I hit Maud, then she'll lose
Yeah.
suggestion.
Got
What
it.
happens
Okay.
if we're all holding actions?
I imagine Elsie feels quite intimidated.
Yes, she does.
So, Maud finally stands and just goes, Sis, they seem reasonable. We might as well go along with them until the end, and then we'll probably lose anyway.
You can't think like that.
I'm very hurt.
Can you put me down, bird brain?
You promise not to stab my friends?
Maybe.
So Luke does not believe you. But
Does
I
he?
will keep watch, and then I'll release you.
As soon as I hit the ground, I scramble over to Maud
Yeah.
and stand next to her, brush myself off, try and make myself look intimidating, puff my chest out a bit, like, And then I just look at Maud and actually realise how badly hurt she is.
Yeah, she is covered in bruises, cuts, and holding her shoulder that looks like it might have been briefly dislocated by the blows from Saluk.
Well, I don't like it, but we are in this room together, so how do we get out?
I don't like it either, especially as I didn't shock him. But the woman, you know, the human, she seems reasonable. I say we follow her lead.
But, you know, look at her. And I kind of give her a look up and down.
Are we talking about me?
Yes.
Okay, just to be clear.
You're the only vaguely human-looking one. I know, but fashion sense isn't everybody's forte, is it?
Yes, I know, but... Okay. If we must work together, okay. I give in and put my daggers away.
Okay. As that happens, a voice comes over the sound system and goes, "Very good. So, round 4. And the Skipstone sisters and the Bane Glorious have decided to work together for now." And then the room starts to shift again and splits off from the other room that it was connected to and starts to twist round to another area of the arena. And you find yourself coming to an already lit room that has ostensibly nothing in it. And then you connect to it. The door at the other end opens. Do you go through?
Yeah.
Okay.
Can we see anything through the door?
Make a perception check. Anyone who wants to.
16?
12.
10.
6.
I'm not
Okay.
perceiving anything.
Okay. Erallur, you notice that there appear to be a couple of closed, currently, openings in the ceiling. One at either end of the chamber.
So as in one right by this door?
Yep.
Okay, so I'm going to just, before anyone goes in, I'm going to be like, wait! And then head on over to the door, see if I can get a better idea of what that is.
Okay, roll an investigation check for that then.
Natural 20!
It seems
My
like...
bad streak has stopped.
You say that now, it could come
Yeah.
back. You and I know this better than anyone. So it looks like they're not connected to anything at the moment, but there is definitely a similar door mechanism to the sliding doors that you've been going through this entire time. But there's no connection established for now.
Okay. And how big is this thing?
About 10 feet wide?
Okay. Big enough for a massive creature.
Possible, yeah.
That's big enough for a massive creature to come through. We should probably not stand directly underneath it.
Well, you first.
Okay, the squishy goes in first.
One of the squishies. Maud is quite squishy.
I
So
think
do
my
you-
friend might need some backup. Why don't you help her out? And then I give Elsie a shove on the back.
Do you try and resist that, Adam?
Well, she probably wasn't expecting it, so...
This is just the same as what happened with Lorethel and Thelios.
So,
Revenge.
yeah, so I imagine that she wasn't expecting it, so she's probably shunted forward.
So, Elsie and Erallur are just in the room. You are underneath the hatch at present. I'm presuming that you don't stay there terribly long.
I'm not.
Okay, so you run into the centre of the room. Do the rest of you follow?
Yep.
Yep.
I'm going to keep my weapon trained on the big O.
Okay, so you all sprint into the centre of the room. Are you all fairly eyeing the two hatches? Are any of you looking at one in particular, or...?
I'll look at the far one.
Okay.
They're both identical, presumably.
Yes, yeah, identical size.
Having run into the middle of the room, can I then fly up closer to the far one?
You absolutely can, yeah. So when you all reach the centre of the room, Saluk takes off with a single flap of his wings. And as he does so, you see, Saluk, a chute start to rapidly come down from the dark ceiling above and connect with the hatch, which then opens. And there's a strange gurgling noise that comes through as something starts to shift down that chute. And Flint, you see the one behind you. A similar chute descends and attaches, and the gurgling noise grows louder as if something is coming down that chute as well.
Okay, I'm going to hold an action, and if something nasty comes into view, I'm gonna shoot it.
Okay?
Are we able to all do similar things? Since we are aware of the hatch,
I would say yes, you are.
then I will also hold a spell type thing.
Okay? Anybody else?
I hear something nasty coming down too.
At least you can fly out of trouble if there's
What was
any
that?
other.
I'm struggling to hear you up here.
Ah,
I just jokingly, with my gun, and then I'm like, no, it's fake.
Okay, so you all pretty much holding an action of some sort.
C.
Okay, so
But only if it looks like a dodgy critter.
okay, something slips out of the tubes, and it certainly comes under the parameter of dodgy critter. You think, in the sense that on either tube there is a strange cube shape made of see-through ooze, and they slop to the bottom. Can you make your attacks, please, as they start to slide across the floor towards you?
How far away are they, please?
From Saluk, they are not very far at all, although they just slopped to the ground, so maybe 30 feet away from Saluk now.
Mm.
So from you, they would be 15 feet, either one.
Okay.
So that's a 17 to hit.
Okay, that will definitely hit.
So that's 9 points of piercing damage, and then 11 points of thunder damage.
Okay, that's fine. So that's 20 points altogether.
Mm-hmm.
Lovely. Okay, yeah. You see the strange gelatinous body ripple as the cannon goes off. So who's next?
I can go next.
Yeah, so Errol, what are you doing? You're facing the one that came through near Saluk, so at the
Okay.
top of the room.
Are there any small objects in this room?
There aren't. No, it is a
Okay.
clear room.
I'll take out a copper piece because I'm very wealthy and I don't need it. And I'm going to use catapult.
Okay, roll to hit with your spell then.
I don't know if I've used this,
I don't think you have, no. I can't remember you doing so.
but yeah, it's just a normal. Okay. I should write the actual numbers down instead of just putting add your charisma. 21.
21 to hit, that definitely hits.
Yeah. So it's 3d8. Here's the first one. It's a 1. And the second one is a 2. And then a 6.
So 9.
Yes.
Okay,
And it's bludgeoning.
that's
That
great.
helps.
Okay, so you launch the copper piece and there's a as it sinks into the mass. And you can see that it hurt it a little bit, but then as you watch, the coin starts to sizzle and starts to melt inside the thing. Okay.
Did it do less damage than I expected it to do?
No, it did the exact
Okay.
thing you were expecting.
Okay.
Okay, who's next?
I'll go. So I'm going to cast Firebolt, so the cantrip.
Got you. Okay,
10.
that will hit.
Oh!
It's fairly big and slow. They're quite easy to hit.
So then I do, because it's a cantrip. 10.
Okay, and which one are you hitting? Because you can hit either of them from where you
The
are.
one closest to me.
Okay, that's the one that Flint hit, so the one behind you. And Saluk or Juniper, are you doing anything, or
I hadn't actually held an action, so
you hadn't? That's true.
yeah, same.
Okay, so we will now roll for initiative then.
Oh my god! What's happening?
Such a waste. I don't want to go first.
I'll take your natural 20. I don't mind taking it off your hands.
Not for a gelatinous cube.
Okay, so 25 to 20. Errol, what did you get?
just 20.
Just 20 because you're a +0.
Just a
Cool.
20.
20
just
to 15.
16.
16 for Elsie. I forgot to roll for Maud. I mean, that's not great.
Stupid Maud.
Leave her alone.
And that's what my sister.
15 to 10.
Yep.
Flint,
13.
13. And Juniper?
10.
10. Okay. And Saluk, what did you get?
7.
7. Your initiative is supposed to be really good. What are you doing?
Rolling a d20.
And what did Truffle get, Flint?
Truffle also got a 7. He's only got a +1, so I imagine he probably goes last.
Yeah, he would. Okay, so Errol, it is your turn.
Okay, how far away am I from the nearest one?
About 17 feet at the moment.
Can I move further away without then getting in particularly close with the other one?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Okay,
yeah, you
so
can
I'll
move
just-
10 feet towards the wall on your right.
Okay, if
And
I
you
could
would
basically
be-
be equal distance between the two.
Yeah, you are.
That'd be fairly useful.
Yeah.
Okay. And then I will do a... Why not do a fireball? Would that engulf anyone else?
How big's the radius again?
I mean, when you're having to use the phrase engulf, it's...
Let's have a look. It's 20 foot.
Yeah.
It would. Okay.
Yeah.
I won't do that.
Don't
I
put-
could use. I do have a thing that means that I can help people.
Oh, the
my friends
careful.
on saying
Yeah.
that, but I don't. I can't be bothered to use that. Fireballs are for like dire circumstances. I don't feel dire right now.
Just do it. Just do it anyway.
No, we're gonna do a chromatic orb.
Do it. Birds do great with fire. And dwarves. And everything.
Ye old chromatic orb, please.
Okay, go for it. Roll to
Let me
hit.
just figure out what type. I mean, I don't. I'll see if it hits first. 21 again.
That will hit. Yeah, absolutely.
So, what are the options? Acid, cold, fire, lightning, poison, thunder. Let's do a thunder.
Okay. Which one are you particularly going for? The one you hit before or the one?
Yeah, let's go for the one I hit before.
You've got it.
Yeah, and it's just 3d8.
Oh, it's just 3d8.
17.
17.
And I don't add anything else, do I?
No. Right, so you gather the slightly wobbling energy in your hand and then whip it round. And again, there is a strange ripple effect as the thunder magic hits it. It's a good hit, solid. Okay.
Unlike the gelatinous cube.
Ah! Sick burn on a creature that cannot hear you. So, that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, Elsie, it is your turn.
Do I think it would be good to actually physically attack it?
When you say that, why wouldn't it be in your head?
Because it's not a solid form.
Well, it seems that normal damage is doing normal damage from what you can discern. The only reference you have for that is the coin going in, but that seems to hurt it as much as the spell should be doing.
Okay. So how far away is the closest one to me?
The one behind you is 5 feet away from you.
Oh, so like behind me.
Yeah, yeah.
So I turn around and I'll just attack it.
Okay, go for it. Roll to attack.
17.
That will hit, absolutely.
So then, because I've got both of my daggers out, do I attack with both of them?
You've got an extra attack, don't you?
Well, I have my sneak attack, but that's when
Yeah,
I'm
that's
attacking
when you've
with
got advantage, so this
Yeah.
isn't then.
As far as I was aware, I only had one attack
I think
and my bonus action.
Let me just check, because you're a rogue and you're level 11. So
See, I checked that and nothing came up because when you thought I had another attack, I checked.
Oh, okay. Let's check. No, you only have the one. Yeah, you're right.
Yes.
Yeah, so just, one dagger. It's only one.
Okay.
'Cause
And
you're not a
Erallur,
dual wielder.
your chromatic orb was lightning. Was that right?
Thunder.
Thunder. Okay. Well, I shall attack with storm.
Okay.
3.
3. Okay.
Doing so well.
So,
Yeah, that's including lightning damage.
lovely. So you see Elsie sprint towards the one that you were attacking, Flint, slip out that dagger, but you see a crackle of energy slip down the blade and then shimmy into the cube as she stabs in. And there's a brief spark as the blade goes into the body. Okay. Is that the end of your turn?
And then as my bonus action, I'm going to use my cunning action to dash 15 feet away.
Okay. I think it would get an attack of opportunity on you because you're moving away from it and you are in melee. Do you want to still do that?
If it gets an attack of opportunity, then no.
Okay, so you're staying where you are in front of it, yeah?
Yeah, I'll just stay where I am.
Got it. Okay, Flint, you are up.
Okay, do I have a clear line of sight on any of the...
You don't. Elsie is sort of in your way now, so you could try and move round the side, and you would do.
Yep, I'll shuffle to the side and
Okay, so
Just-
you move
let it rip.
10 feet to the side, and you would have the space there. So, yeah, go.
Okay, that's 16.
That will hit.
Okay, so that's 9 points of regular damage, and then 18 points of thunder damage.
Wow, okay. Okay, so as that boom goes off and slams into it. You can see bits of the ooze fly off onto the clear walls and slide down it. And this one's rippling a bit more and seems to be unable to hold itself together to a degree. And one of the bones inside it just slips onto the floor. It's looking fairly hurt.
Okay. I'll use my bonus action to reload.
Got it. Okay. So, Juniper, it is now your turn.
Oh, I would like to cast Healing Word on Maud.
Oh, that's nice. What
On the
level?
keep. No. Wait a minute.
This is a strange time for a heal turn, Jess.
Yeah, it's all happening now. I mean, we only got a couple of rounds of combat in, so I'm going to say second level,
Okay.
which is 2d4 plus 3.
Okay, I shall roll that. If I can get the dice out. So 10, because I rolled a 4 and a 3, so that's good. So Juniper goes to Maud, places... Well, no, it's Healing Word, isn't it?
Healing Word. So I'm basically like, we're friends now, and then she gets healed.
And you see this lovely yellowish energy wash over her, and she breathes a little bit easier and rolls her shoulder. Looks a bit more comfortable. Okay,
Cool.
Is that the end of your turn? Are you moving
I
anywhere?
would like to move directly in the middle, so I am equally far away from the
You
cube.
were already fairly close to the middle.
Wonderful. I like go exactly in the middle.
Yeah,
like
so you're now back to back with Maud in the middle.
because we're friends.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and about
And
the same height.
Yeah. Oh, it's beautiful. It's all happening together. And my skeleton animals are currently staying with me because Juniper can imagine them just being swallowed by the cube.
Yeah, so they're being mildly threatening at your feet.
Yes, yeah.
Got it.
Unfortunately, I'm pretty sure a cube can't be frightened. Probably.
I think you're correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's the end of Juniper's turn. Saluk, it is now your turn.
I love how Erallur is the only tall one. It's like you're the human in an episode of The Muppets. Okay, so Luke is recoiling at the thought of touching this thing, especially because I feel like he saw the coin and saw it sizzle when it went inside. So I'm going to spend my first action to get out my quarterstaff, and then I'm going to whack it. Is there anything within the slime? Is there any focal point or rain line?
No, it's just a transparent cube.
Okay. Yeah, I'll give it a tentative
Whack. Got it. Okay, roll for attack then.
That is a 21.
That will hit.
And that hits for 9. Lovely.
Okay, so you give it a thwack, and similar to when you get jelly out of a fridge and it just wobbles, there's just this huge wobble as your staff goes through it.
What? Okay. Yeah, and I followed it up immediately with the second one to see if I can get larger effect.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all 1.
Okay, so this time, unfortunately, as you go to strike again, there's just a bit of it that flicks up at you, and you just recoil as you're bringing the staff down and swing and miss. Okay, are you doing anything else? Got it. So it is now Truffle's turn.
Cool. Truffle is going to... I think Truffle is gonna poison breath.
Well, can you roll to see whether that recharges, first of all?
Yeah, is it not between... Have we not had a break between...
I don't think that counts as a break.
Okay.
It was very quick.
Well, that's a 1, so no. So he'll just go in and peck, I reckon.
Okay, the one that you're looking at.
Yeah.
Got it. Roll for attack then.
Probably not going to hit. That's a 10.
It does hit.
Oh, okay.
These things are huge and very slow.
Okay,
They have an armor class of 6.
Wow.
That's 12 points of piercing damage and 1 point of poison damage.
Okay. The beak sinks in like a syringe, and Truffle gets briefly bothered by the fact that it goes quite so far, almost to his eyes, and then recoils as this single drop of green just slips slowly through the mass. Okay.
Nice. He's going to flick back out of the way.
That would mean an attack of opportunity, just so you know.
I wasn't sure if... okay.
Doesn't matter that Truffle's small.
Well, no, I was banking on the fact that hopefully they wouldn't get one because they're cubes. Do they still lurch from side to side then?
No, they would get an attack of opportunity.
Okay.
They are able to do something that allows them to do it.
He'll just stay where he is then, in
Okay.
that case.
Right, so now it is Maud's turn. She splits off from you, Juniper, and goes towards the one that Saluk is attacking. Gets within about 5 feet of it, and then makes sure that she's not close to Saluk. And you see her hands clap together, and this huge boom emanates from them. And then he needs to make a Constitution save, which it's pretty good at. Oh, but it rolled a natural 1, so it fails. Great, okay. So, because she is at 11th level and it's a cantrip, it does 3d6 damage. Oh, okay. So that's 7 damage to that one as she uses Thunderclap. And she is then going to use the rest of her movement because she's just far enough away from it not to evoke it, to just move back up to you, Juniper. So she comes, claps, and runs back. Okay, so that is the end of her turn. It is now the cube's turn. So cube number 1.
The cube.
That one is the much more injured one. Yeah, it's going to try and attack you, Elsie.
Oh yeah, I am right in front of it.
Yeah, and that would be a 16 to hit.
Damn it, yes it hits.
Okay, so you take...
Oh, can I use my reaction?
What are you
How do
using
reactions work? I've never used a reaction
Well, what are you using it for?
to use uncanny dodge.
You can use it for that, I believe. Let's just double check.
Yeah, when an attacker you can see hits you, you use your reaction
Yeah.
to half the attacker's damage.
Yeah, you can definitely use that.
And can I just do that any time that someone is attacking me that I can see?
As
It's
long
only once per
it's
turn, isn't
once per turn because it's a
Okay.
reaction. So you can definitely use that now.
Cool.
If you wish to. Yeah, so you would have taken 10 damage, but you take 5 instead. As
Yeah.
this part of the cube seems to actually come out in a strange arm-like protrusion and then just barrels into you. But you just manage to skip to the side and it grazes the side of your stomach. And then it is going to move and it's going to try and engulf you, Elsie. So can you make a dexterity saving throw for me, please?
25.
Okay, you
Ooh.
very much succeed. So you can choose to be pushed 5 feet back or to the side of the cube.
So if I get pushed 5 feet back, I'm just going more towards the centre of the room.
Yeah,
aren't
so
I?
closer to Maud.
So I'll go backwards then.
Okay, so you can see that it tries to shift, but you just dance back with your feet and avoid getting engulfed by it. So that's the first one. The other one is going to try and attack Sir Luke. That's cocked. That's not good. So that would miss with a 7. And then because you're above it, it can't engulf you. And so it moves 1, 2, 3.
Stop trying to eat, Jeff.
From here,
So
though,
yeah,
he's
it
trying to
moves and it
Oh,
can
I'm on the top.
just get to in front of Juniper, but it cannot engulf her. It is right in your face, Juniper. Okay, so that's...
Opportunity if it moved away from me.
Yes, you would do, yeah.
I opportune to attack it.
Got it.
Natural 1.
So you whiff again as it slowly oozes away from you. You're just so disgusted by this thing that you just swing and with your eyes closed and completely miss. Okay, that is the end of the first round. It is now back to the top, which is Erallur.
Is there anyone within 10 feet of Juniper?
Yes, there is both Elsie and Maud.
Never mind.
Damn
You'll be
it.
fine. I'll just do a chromatic orb again.
Okay.
Same again. Same type of damage. Do either cube look particularly more or less damaged?
Yes, the one to your left, which is the one that is behind, which is where you came in.
Okay, and which is the one next to Juniper?
The other one.
So I'll hit the other one.
Okay, got it.
19.
That will definitely hit.
11 damage. I wish
So
I had
then-
one of those abilities where you can re-roll ones on damage die.
Yeah, it'd be
It'd
good,
be really
wouldn't it?
helpful.
So again, you spin and loose the orb, this time feeling a little bit more confident about it, and it brumps through the cube. Are you moving anywhere?
Have any of them moved anywhere closer to me, or?
They both have moved closer, but they're still about 10 feet away from you diagonally.
I think I'll just stay there.
Got it. Okay. Elsie, your turn.
So seeing that my dagger didn't really do much to it, I'm going to use Firebolt again.
Okay.
And I realised the first time I did a Firebolt, I should have rolled another 2 times, but I didn't.
Oh.
So that's my own fault.
It was a warning shot.
22.
That will hit.
Cool. I just rolled it. 11.
Lovely. Okay. So this time you bring your hand up, 2 fingers, and shoot the bolt out of your finger. And you see as the fire twists into the center of the cube and manages to hit, it just goes and starts to spread across the floor. That one is down.
I do a little jump, as in like a yay. But then, as part of that, turn myself around to look at the other one.
Got it. Okay. And now it's Flint's turn. So the one that you were facing has been destroyed by Elsie.
Okay, I'm going to turn and take a look at the other one.
You can see that it is right up in Juniper's face.
Okay, is Juniper in the way then, or?
Your thing is a 15-foot cone, isn't it?
No, so my regular shot is just a straight
Then,
shot.
yeah, you could get a straight shot.
Cool, awesome. So that'll be an 18,
Definitely hits.
and that'll be 9 points of piercing damage and 14 points of thunder damage.
Okay, so again, this other cube ripples and is pushed back slightly towards the wall. Only about a couple of inches or so. But yeah, that one's looking very hurt as well now. It's oozing more across the floor.
I'll use my bonus action to reload.
Got it. Okay, Juniper, it is now your turn. Flint has slightly pushed back the cube from just against your nose.
Phew. I would like to cast Thunderclap.
Okay, so following Maud's example, great.
Yes, it's a good spell. Everybody loves it.
It
It's
is.
got thunder in it. You know, and now we're like besties, so I thought it was a nice thing to do. So a Constitution saving throw as a
Ooh,
cube.
okay. That's cocked. It was on a natural 20. That's annoying. That's 23.
Wow, it's got some strong
It's
con.
yeah.
Okay, fine. It doesn't hit, I guess, but it sounded great.
Yeah, there's a
So-
second cacophonous clap.
Yeah, we're just twinsies again, and I try and move back. Can I move back, or would that have an attack of opportunity?
It would have an attack of opportunity.
Then I stare at it.
With your intimidating skeletons.
Yes,
Got it.
I'm like,
Okay.
I meant to just make a sound. It's fine.
It was a warning. You should have listened.
Yeah.
Okay, so Luke, it is now your turn.
Okay, I fly over to it and hit it again with my stick.
Go for it.
26. And it hits for 6 damage.
Yeah, so again, you bring it off and you manage to actually whip a corner off with the staff and it just slicks across the ceiling.
Okay, and I bring it back round for another hit.
Yep,
And 26 again.
yep.
And that one hits for 12.
Okay, and then you bring the staff, jab it towards the center, and as you do so, this one just across the floor. They are both down. The chamber starts to move, and you hear, oh, well, that was very efficient. So, round 5, I suppose. And your chamber starts to move round again in a different direction and starts to connect with another chamber. This
Do we
one,
know how many rounds there
I was going
are?
to say, Michael, I think we're technically on round 4, because if you remember, we only did 2 rounds and then the sisters entered.
Or did that count as
round
a round?
3 was you making an agreement to work together.
Oh, of course it was. Ignore me.
Yeah,
Do we know how many there are going to be?
you weren't told.
Okay.
You come to another chamber. This one has a few pedestals within it, you see as it connects. And there appear to be 24 pedestals in all. Some of them seem to have gemstones placed upon them.
Oh.
The first 4 in the room all have gemstones placed upon them, and they go in sets of 2s across the majority of the room in columns leading away from you. So the first 4 have gemstones set into the top of them. All of these gemstones are pale. They're a slightly milky quartz looking colour. And then the next 4, 2 of them on the left have bright crystals in them, as in they glow with a yellow sheen. But the 2 on the right don't have any crystals.
So it's 2 columns of 12 pedestals.
You've got it, yeah.
Right, okay.
Then the next 4, only
Should be
one.
writing this down.
Yeah,
I've been writing it with words, and now I'm
Yeah.
starting to think I should probably be drawing it. Because you got me. Actually, we've got scrap paper.
What I've got.
Right. So,
So as the room is sliding into place, wiping the slime off my quarterstaff, I turn to Elsie and say, aren't you glad you teamed up with us? It makes things far easier. Violence
Yeah.
is never the answer,
Yeah,
unless it is. Or sometimes, to be honest, I think it might have been a multiple choice.
yeah, it makes things easier now, but it's just going to make things a hell of a lot more complicated when we get to the end.
Well, we'll see.
Well, yeah, we'll see.
Can I just clarify the order again? Because I've written left
Yeah.
twice. So the first 4 are pale,
Yeah.
and then the next 4, the two
Yeah.
on the left are...
Have bright crystals in
They
them.
do, and then the others don't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then the next 4, the 2 on the right have bright crystals in them and the 2 on the left don't.
Okay.
And then the next 4 all have dull crystals in them, as in they are slightly purpley but still have a little bit of clearness in them.
Yeah.
And then there's 8 more which follow the same pattern as the previous 8 but have dark crystals in the first left 2 and then the second right 2. And you can see scattered across the floor are 4 more bright crystals and 4 more black crystals.
Okay. Might need clarification on the last bit later.
Yeah.
But for now...
So I think those 2 are
the-
also dark.
Okay.
I go over to the nearest crystal on the floor
Mm-hmm.
and pick it up and get my jeweler's tools out of my bag. And I inspect it to see if I can learn more about it.
Make an investigation check with your proficiency bonus. That'd be a +3. Or is it
Nice.
+4 now?
+4 is what I
Plus
have, so
4
if
now.
he's my level.
Yeah.
Sure. But yeah, 9.
Looks a fairly low quality quartz crystal. It's bright, so it's glowing with a slight yellow light, but
Does it seem magical?
it seems like it's had the light spell cast on it or is storing the light spell.
The pedestals without gems in, do they have slots?
They do.
Okay. It's a pattern.
So,
On a peck, toss it back on the floor and go, cheap tack.
I mean, my initial guess is that perhaps we just need to put them in order of, like a, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like a gradient. We need to put it in a gradient.
Well,
Either light to dark or dark to light.
do you
or-
think we need to move the ones that are already in then? Would it be
Well-
best to start with just putting in the ones that aren't in?
Yay. We could
Yay?
try. Yay. Yes, I.
Ah, the famous dwarven word, yai.
What's the famous improv game? Yes, I.
Or is this going to be something to do with light? So that light, passing light through them or something? So
Is there
they-
anything else in the room that would cast light?
Make a perception check.
Is it like one of those mirror game, like mini games in video games?
can I look as well?
20.
Yeah, of course you can.
Dirty.
Perception,
Yes.
17.
You both spot that on the left wall, carved fairly thinly, there appears to be a crescent moon symbol. And on the right wall, there is a bright sun, as in has lines coming away from it. It doesn't glow, but it's supposed to indicate the sun during midday, it seems.
And it's just a picture on the wall, it's not?
Yeah, it's just
a
carved
window
into
or anything.
the glass of the chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see those symbols too?
Dark on the left side, light on the right side.
Possibly, but would it be that simple?
Maybe it's light to dark on one side and then dark to light on the other.
I think that sounds simple enough but complicated enough, if that makes sense.
Shall we first see if getting one wrong causes any negative effects before we do anything else?
Well, thank you for volunteering, Torley. Off you go.
Well, we have some volunteers, hopefully in the form of squirrels or something.
Squirrel.
I'm hoping we can maybe use them.
What?
One's a squirrel and one's a weasel.
Let's send the weasel.
Oh yeah, I've not really acknowledged the fact that we're travelling around with skeleton animals.
Welcome to the group.
They're my friends.
Okay, Juniper, are you sending the weasel to do something?
Yeah, and we go on.
What are you asking it to do?
Wait, what did we want it to do?
Just try putting a random
One in a random.
one in a yeah to see
You
if
don't
it
have
doesn't.
any. You don't really want a particular one.
No.
I choose a random one.
Okay.
Maybe put a pale one. Oh no, it's bright and dark. Put a bright one on the left side because I'm hoping that might be wrong, and then that will tell us if.
Okay, put that
Something bad
bright
happens.
one on that side.
Okay, so where on the left side? Because there's a few empty ones.
Oh.
The furthest one to the left?
The furthest one to the left? Yeah. Okay. So the weasel gathers the crystal up in its mouth, scoots along to the end one, shimmies up the pillar there and places the crystal in, and there is a... And then a hatch opens in the floor, and this strange pile of weird smelling plant just is shunted into the room and slops down onto the floor. Nothing else happens.
Okay. Do we know what the plant is?
Just seems to be a massive plant.
It's not a scary monster plant.
Make a perception check.
Okay. Natural 20.
Wow.
There's something of the shape of this that doesn't look like it's just a random assortment of mulch.
Light.
I will use Firebolt on it.
Okay, roll to
Because it
attack.
doesn't use a spell slot.
I'm exactly the same.
It's the person that runs the contest in like a ghillie suit, like, you won!
14.
14. So you streak the firebolt towards it, but then it seems to lift an arm that has various dangling vines, and the fire streaks past and misses. Can you roll for initiative, please?
Ah,
Ew.
I'm glad I didn't use a spell slot.
Okay, so 25 to 20. Saluk,
22.
22. And
Wow.
Elsie,
24.
24. Wow, okay. 20 to 15. Jess,
16.
Ed,
Also 16
Kathryn.
15.
What are your dexes, Flint and Juniper?
plus 3.
Hold on, let me go to my skills. Wait, no, it's not on that. It's abilities. +2.
Plus 2. Okay, so Flint, you would go first. And then Truffle, what did Truffle get?
Truffle got 9.
Right, so
What did Maud get?
Maud got an 11 this time,
Oh, okay.
but the monster got more. So Elsie is first, then Saluk, then Flint, then Juniper, then Erallur, then the monster, then Maud, then Truffle. So, Elsie, you're up as this strange shape of plant matter starts to move towards you.
Oh, okay, so it's actually moving.
Well, it started to stand up.
Oh, okay. So before I do anything,
Mhm.
so this appeared from a hole in the ground.
Yeah, it was shunted up there by a platform.
Can I just make a quick observation check just to see if there looks like there's any more holes that could appear from the ground?
Yeah, roll a perception check.
21.
Looks like that's the only hole, the one that it's standing on.
And is that fairly central?
No, it's right at the other end of the chamber.
Oh, okay. So I'm going to use a firebolt. But before I cast it, I turn to Erallur. I don't know that's her name, but I turn to her and go, this is how you use firebolt.
Okay, roll for an attack
I
then.
want you to miss now.
23.
That will hit.
16.
16 fire damage. Okay, so... Sorry, just doing maths.
I was attacking with advantage, wasn't I?
No, you weren't.
Damn.
And so you see the two fingers come up again and the firebolt loose and arc towards it. Sparks settle in its shoulder. Seems like it doesn't do as much damage as you're expecting.
Oh,
The fire
As in just-
quickly goes out and you see just a bit of fume move out of the place that you struck it.
right.
Fire
Okay.
is super effective against grass type.
We're not playing Pokemon, Jess.
Wait, we're not. Oh my god.
Okay, so is that the end of your turn? Are you moving anywhere? Or are you doing anything else?
I move over to Maud.
Okay, you've got it. Cool. So it is now Luke's turn.
Oh, are there any crystals on the ground near me?
There's a couple. Yeah, there's a black one and a bright one.
Pick up the bright one and
Okay.
launch it at the creature.
Okay. Make a ranged dex attack then.
Is that what's that? Just add dex to
Yeah, it's just a throw. Yeah.
Oh, 8.
8, that will miss. So you throw and it topples a few feet from you and clinks along the ground. The crystal doesn't shatter, it's not damaged by it, but you don't hit.
Was embarrassed. So Luke goes, distraction, and then and swipes at the creature with his talons.
Well, yeah, you could get across to it. You'd have to fly way down the room. Do you want to move that far? Yeah? Okay, roll for attack then.
That's a 20.
That is a critical hit.
Yay.
So you double the dice damage.
You do.
19 slashes.
19. Wow, that's really good. Okay. Okay, so you bring your talent across and you can start to see that there seems to be a facsimile of a mouth starting to open, and there's a slightly brighter green where eyes would ordinarily be on a face, but it's just this screen of mulch, and you just slash your hand across that screen and there's a as it reels back in pain.
Yeah. And then I follow up with the second
You
one,
got it?
which is 26.
That will hit.
And that is 12 damage.
Great. And you follow it up with a cut under its chin as you just slide and try and close its mouth with your talons.
How far did I move to it?
You moved 40 feet.
Okay, I just give a little hop back and disengage.
Okay. Yeah, you can do that as your monk. Got it. End of your turn?
Yep.
Okay, it is now Flint's turn.
Okay, so yeah, I'm worried I'm going to hurt people if I do anything else. So could I use my stone cunning on some of the gems?
What are you trying to assess?
A type, or whether there's any particular reason these particular stone/gems are here, or...
Okay, I'd say roll stone cunning then.
So that's not great. So that's 18.
From what you can tell, they seem to be fairly generic, cheap gemstones. As Saluk said, they're kind of trash, but they've had magic cast on them to represent the black and the bright. They've been coloured by magic in some way, but
Okay.
you're not sure what the meaning of that is.
Okay. Would that be my free action to do that?
I'd
or-
say so, yeah.
Okay. Nah, I think the more minds on this, the better. Yeah, I'm going to attack the grass thing.
So in order to get a clear line of sight, you'd have to flank round Saluk. So maybe move 15 feet down the side with the moon on the wall.
Yep, no, that's
Yeah,
fine.
okay.
So that's 24 to hit.
Yeah, absolutely. Why are you suddenly rolling so well?
I don't know.
You're hurting my monsters.
That's an 8 piercing damage and 12 thunder damage.
Okay, so 20 damage altogether. Lovely. Okay. So you can see bits of mulch and compost fly off this thing as the thunder ripples through it. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah, I'll reload as my bonus.
Ace. So Juniper, it is now your turn.
Right. Do I think that this plant thing can hear?
Roll a nature check.
Cool. Doesn't necessarily need to be able to understand language, but just be able to hear. Let me get my nature. 18.
It doesn't appear to have ears, so you're not sure, but you think it's unlikely that it's able to hear.
Okay, that is sensible. And
Yeah,
I will
given
not use
that-
vicious mockery.
Yeah, given that you've
Because it's
never come
not
across a
human.
creature like this before, you're not entirely sure, but it doesn't seem to have any hole or ear shape on the sides of its head.
Okay, that makes sense. I will try Thunderclap again then, because why not?
Okay, so it's a con save.
Con save, please.
Oh, yeah, even with a +3, I don't think that saves, because that's a 9.
No.
Okay.
Lovely. So that's 3d6. So let me get my stuff up. 4, another 4, and a 2. So that's 10.
Okay, lovely. So you bring your hands together. I believe the range on Thunderclap is 5 feet, so you would have had to move up to it.
Oh yeah, I'd probably been
Yeah?
forward. Sorry.
Okay.
I was remembering the cube where I was basically like kissing it.
You could get there though, so it's fine. So yes, so you clap and a few more bits of mulch fly off, including a little bit that just sits on the end of your nose, and you just wriggle and get the grass off. Is that all you're doing?
I think I will also get my skeleton friends
Yeah.
too. So they have a speed of 30 feet. So I
Yeah,
assume
they
if
could
I
get there
command them
then.
to follow and attack.
Yeah.
Wonderful. So let me roll for them to attack. First one's only a 9.
That misses, unfortunately. So as it
Fine.
tries to bite into its foot, it just lifts it up slowly.
That's sad. Second one though is a 16.
That will hit, yes.
Lovely. And then it's 3.
3, okay.
So
Still
powerful.
damage, still counts.
Yep.
So you see the squirrel, its jagged teeth just jut into this thing's toe, and there's a brief of annoyance. Okay.
Skeleton warriors.
Right, Erallur, it is now your turn.
Okay. One question. The sun and the moon,
Yes.
well, you said they're on the left and the right wall.
Yes.
Do you mean where the doors are? Well, there's 2 columns going like
Yeah.
this. Are they on either side of the length of the columns, or are they on the short end?
No, they're on either side. So the moon is on the
That's what I
left
thought.
and the sun is on the right.
Cool. Just want to check. Right. Where am I? How far am I away from the monster am I?
You are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You are 25 feet away.
Cool. I'm just going to do Ray of Frost.
Okay.
It's not very good. 12.
That misses, unfortunately. So again, it sees the magic coming and just lifts its arm to avoid. Okay, end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay, it is now its turn. So, ooh, lots of people to choose from. Let's have a look. So it's going to use its slam attack on Saluk. You disengaged, so it can't use it on you. So yeah, it's going to move forwards though. So it's going to use its slam attacks on you, Saluk, because it is close enough. Okay. That is...
I'm just lying down.
He's trying to hide. That's a 22 to hit on the first slam. Okay, so 12 points of bludgeoning damage on the first slam. Okay, and then it's going to try and hit you again. Whoa, that rolled all over the place. That is a 19 to hit. And 14 points of bludgeoning damage that time. And as the vines wrap and curl around your arms and waist, it then pulls you into its body. You are engulfed. You are blinded, restrained, and unable to breathe.
Yeah.
You must succeed on a DC 14 Constitution saving throw at the start of each of the monster's turns, or take 13 bludgeoning damage.
Okay.
If the mound moves, you move with it. Okay? So you see as this thing wraps itself around Saluk and then pulls him into its body, and he disappears from view. That is the end of its turn. It is now Maud's turn. So she is going to, similarly to Juniper, because she saw that that worked, and try and use a thunderclap. So it makes a con save. That is a 10, so it fails. And so it's 3d6. Okay, that's decent. So 10 damage from that. So this thing just has two small people just constantly clapping at it, and this thunder damage ripples through it. That's the end of Maud's turn. So it is now Truffle's turn.
Okay, Truffle is... Would I have to roll to recharge?
Yes.
Okay. Nope. So he's just going to peck, I think. So he's going to fly in and make his attack. That's a 12.
That will miss, unfortunately. So the beak tries to go in, but it just strikes against the mossy surface and doesn't do any damage.
Okay.
So back to the top. Elsie, it is your turn.
Right. So the monster has Bird Boy inside it.
Yes.
Right. Okay. And the firebolt didn't really seem to do anything to it, did it?
It hurt it, but not as much as you hoped.
So probably shouldn't try and set it on fire then.
I'll turn this into a bonfire while somebody's inside it. That's never gone poorly in The Wicker Man.
And if he's a bird, is he extra flammable?
Basically, that you defeat this thing and a roast chicken falls out at the end.
Oh. He was the best of us.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cast Minor Illusion,
Okay.
and I'm going to create, let's say, a cat.
Okay.
And I would like to put the cat in what I think would be the view of the monster,
Okay.
just looking at it.
Okay.
So
So
exciting.
with minor illusion, it can't move.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a cat sitting and staring at this thing
Mm-hmm.
that doesn't appear to have eyes.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Grey cat appears on the floor. Is that your turn?
And how far away is it?
From you, it's 15 feet now.
Oh, okay. And I walk a bit closer to the cat
Okay.
and go, "Oh, look, a cat! I hope it doesn't get eaten."
Okay.
And
Are you
that's,
doing-
and that's my go.
Okay. So Luke, you can't do anything because it's the monster's turn that you roll on, so we'll skip over you. Flint, it is now your turn.
Can he not try to escape or anything?
Nope.
Ooh.
I mean, I can't do anything because I'm going to hold my action for when Saluk gets out of there, and I'll shoot it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Juniper, now your turn.
Oh my gosh. Well, you know what? If it ain't broke, let's not. Oh wait, no, that'll kill Saluk as well. If it's broke,
It might, you don't know.
fix it. Well, I mean, I don't know. Thunder tends to travel within electricity, and birds probably conduct electricity.
It's still going off. Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It could be fine. I don't think I have anything that could particularly help him. Let's have a look. That won't work either. Okay, I'm gonna try because we've made it. It looks a bit ropey, doesn't it? Not like massively, but a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, I would like to cast sleep.
At what level?
I mean, I'll do it at 4th,
Wow, okay.
which will probably be way too much, but I don't know how many hit points it has. And
No,
I
you
don't know.
don't.
So that will be 5d8 plus 6 more
Okay.
d8. So that's 11 d8. Oh,
Wow.
yeah, it's probably way too much, but I don't care. I've got some spell slots. So that's 4, 2, 61 hit points.
Juniper starts to strum on her lute, and it's a very melodic, lullaby type tune. And slowly the magic starts to ebb over all of you, and a couple of you feel like you might be falling asleep. But then the monster in front of you suddenly goes, and it seems to have fallen asleep. And as it does, there's this strange noise as Saluk is no longer restrained and has to fight his way, and his head pops out beak first from this strange creature that is asleep.
He looks completely traumatized.
So how long does that last, Jess?
Oh, it's only a minute, mate.
Okay, you have a minute until this thing is awake again.
Okay.
What are you
Solve
doing?
the puzzle.
Right, okay.
Oh, wait.
I think you're right. I think it's in order. It like already it goes pale to bright to dull to dark, and then dark to dull to bright to pale.
So from the door that we walked in,
Yeah.
which side is the sun on?
The sun is on the right-hand side.
Wait, is Simon's character still in the?
No, he's not restrained anymore, so he's
Okay,
managed to wrestle
right.
himself free.
Sorry. Yeah.
In Faerun, or in your Faerun, does the sun rise in the east and set
That's
in the
what I was
west?
just trying to figure out.
It does, yes.
It does. Okay, cool. Would we know what direction is what in this room?
Ooh, roll a survival check?
Well, the sun is on the right-hand side.
Hmm.
Oh wait, is that right? No, the
So
sun
that's
is
a
on the left side.
16.
No, the
You're
sun's on
not
the
sure.
right.
It's been a bit disorientating in here because the chambers have twisted around quite a lot and reconnected. So you can't really tell.
Okay.
If it wakes up, I'd like to cast blight on it, please.
It wakes up. So you cast Blight.
Yeah.
So it's a con save for that or Dex?
Well, I think I'll use my heightened spell again. So it's a
To give it
disadvantage
disadvantage,
because
got
I
it.
think it's Constitution, and I feel like it might have reasonable Constitution. Yes, it is. And if it's a plant, creature, or magical plant, it makes it with disadvantage and takes
Okay.
maximum damage.
Well, it's a magical plant, so you wouldn't need to use your heightened because that would give
Oh,
it
yeah, of course.
double disadvantage.
Yeah.
So it's a disadvantage. That's cocked. That's not. What's the spell DC?
16.
Okay. Oh, damn it. 6.
Okay.
I rolled a 15 on the first one,
So it takes max damage,
which
which is 8d8 necrotic.
Okay, roll for it.
Well, it's full, so
Oh, yeah, so 88, so 8 times 8, 62?
I'll just use.
No, not 62. What am I doing?
64.
64.
Close.
Okay, so it wakes up with a whoa! Erallur places her hand on it, and this
Shut up, plant.
weird dark flash emanates through it, and you see all of the vines and leaves just drift into dust, and it just slumps to the floor. It's gone.
Right, let's not do it wrong again because I only have 2 more of those.
Right, so shall we do black to bright and then bright to
So
black?
you want to take these ones out?
Yeah, so I think it might, potentially, I might be wrong, but bright, pale, dull, dark, black
How many of each?
on the right side.
Just all
Well,
of them, and then all of them.
Is it
Yeah.
2 of each? So it's then 2. 2, 4.
So altogether, there's 4 pale ones. There's 4,
Yeah.
4 bright.
8. No, there's 8 bright, and there's 4 dull,
Oh,
and
yeah.
then there's 8 dark.
Yeah.
Which is that. Yeah, it still
Yeah.
works with
Yeah.
what you were saying. But
Yeah.
we just need to put the right number in.
So if on the left we go black, dark, dull, pale.
Well, do you want to start by taking out this pale one and putting a dark one in and see what happens?
Yep. So I'll
Okay.
take a pale one and put a black one on the
You
end.
try to take the crystal out, it does not move.
Right. I think we should just follow the pattern that seems to be there already. It kind of goes from pale at this end to dark at the other end.
Mhm.
Yeah. So
So that would mean putting
2
2 more bright ones in that gap in the middle on the left,
Mm-hmm.
and then 2 more dark ones in the other gap on the far end.
Mm-hmm.
So
What about the black ones?
Well, they would go.
You said there were dark ones and there were black ones, or
There are dull ones and black ones.
right? Okay.
So, but we've got 4 dark and 4 bright. So it'd be bright, bright, dark, 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 bright, bright.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I go pick up 2 bright ones, and I go, so where am I putting these then?
So you are putting those in either gap closest to the, I'm assuming the first door that we came out of. So if you're, I want to describe it to Michael so that he knows what
So-
I mean.
the 5th and the 6th one
Yeah.
on the left-hand
Between
side.
bright and dull on
Yeah.
the left side.
Yeah.
Cool. Are they close enough together that I could put them both in at the same time, or would
Yeah,
I?
you could
yeah.
do. No, you could do.
Okay, so I go to the ones that she's told me to, and I look at Maud briefly, and then just shrug and put them in.
Okay. So you place them on the 5th and 6th down the left-hand side. Is that correct?
Yes, assuming your left is my left as well.
Yes. They sit perfectly happily in those pedestals.
Okay. And then you want to take 2 dark ones and put them in the remaining 2 slots on that same row.
Right,
Column, whatever.
off you go, Maud. I'm not doing all the work.
I'm still her.
I don't care.
Ow. Ow. And she very deliberately limps over to the crystals and then sticks her tongue out at you as she puts them in either side. They sit happily in.
And then 2 more dark on the right side next to the dark ones.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I've done
And
my
then-
risk of
yeah.
dying.
The bright
Well,
ones in the
I'm closest, I suppose, so I'll just suffer even more. And she goes, places them in. They're fine.
Yeah, and then the last one's in the last bit.
Okay. So who's doing that one?
I can do that one. Oh, sorry.
After
One
you
each?
said dwarf.
Okay, so just to check, you've got the 4 pale.
Yeah.
And then you've got 8 bright.
Yeah.
And then you've got 4 dull.
Yeah.
And 8 dark.
Yeah.
Okay, as soon as you place those, the moon and sun symbol glow brightly, and you actually see that they move across the surface of the wall as if they are rising and setting, and the chamber starts to move and connect onto another one. You have solved this puzzle. Well done.
Nice.
So,
Nice, nice.
as this new chamber comes into place, you can see that another chamber is coming along to connect to its other end, and you see a few individuals within it. The chamber that you are connected to is empty, but as the doors open on either end, you see a familiar group walk in. Though they are down a couple of members, you see the tiefling, 6th, walk in, his arms outstretched in welcome. You see the strange masked individual with that gold and black mask that doesn't appear to have any eye holes and hood up. And you see the very beefy, hairy gentleman with the large sword that is covered in orange, black, purple blood. And he is very much holding it out ready. And 6th goes, "Well, friends, it seems we are at a bit of an impasse, no? Are we
You
going
come to join our team.
Well, I suppose we could, but I don't think that that will end well. There is only one reward, no?
I'm sure we could split it. Just cut the sword up in wee little pieces.
That is not very romantic of you, Sir Dwarf.
I don't know.
Break a noble and mystical weapon of that kind.
I don't know. Sharing is caring, I suppose. I don't know. Maybe I'm alone.
Isn't it much more fun to beat the game rather than each other?
That's an
I agree.
interesting point, and it would make for a different story. And then the big muscled gentleman goes, I smell something foul.
That plant over there.
Or me.
But then his nose turns towards Juniper.
Ooh.
You have his stink on you.
Don't be mean about Flint.
Yeah, don't be mean about me.
No, not that. Well, you all... Not you. So we killing them or what?
How many of them are there?
There's 3.
And how many of us are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah.
I'm going to look at all of us. I'm going to look at them and visibly count them like this. And then like their head in a kind of questioning way.
Okay, roll an intimidation check.
Can I assist?
How are you assisting?
I step through the door from the previous room with what seem to be extra bits of plant monster on my and I go and stand in front of Juniper with them bared ready.
Okay, yeah, so I would say roll with advantage then, Erallur. Also, Saluk, you do manage to do what you were hoping to do, and there is no ill effect.
23.
So the big man with the sword still looks ready to fight you until 6 just goes, I think perhaps we are outmatched in this one. Maybe we should join forces, or we could withdraw. It is up to you. I don't really mind. I'm just here for the fun. And it has been fun, though a little painful. And you can see now that he does seem to have a shiner developing around his right eye.
Have you fought any other players today?
No, strangely. The Black 3, we haven't encountered them, and obviously you two are the other teams.
Might be quite fun to all end up in the last chamber.
I wonder how Sir Olamphi would react. Obviously, we've lost a couple of hours, but who's to say we couldn't persuade her to give us all something, eh?
Aye, precisely.
Well, at the end of the day, as long as I get the prize, that's all that matters to me.
Who's to say that you'll get the prize, little one?
Because I will.
I have to ask, why is this sword so desired amongst all of you? I mean, we've heard of it by name, and...
But only because we were told about it for this competition.
Aye. What's everyone else know about this Sword of Souls?
Well, to own such a legendary weapon. Well, that is the stuff that dreams are made of. I would become mythical. Well, which is what I have always desired.
Well, as someone whose dreams are perhaps a wee bit different to everyone else's, what exactly does it do?
I do not know.
I don't believe I do.
You were told what it does.
Yeah, I think
it's steals souls, but it's steals souls. But I'm trying to like gather a little more information.
Oh, I see. Okay, roll the persuasion check then.
My acting is just so good.
In that it's confusing. Yes.
Thanks. So that's a 9.
Okay. Well, I mean, to have the power over people's souls is an interesting thing that not everybody should have the power over. Obviously, I, an integral and noble person, would never use the power of it willy-nilly. But to possess such an item, that I do want.
I mean, that doesn't sound as noble as what we've come to expect of you.
You wound me! What an outrageous suggestion! I have never met someone as brazen as I am. It is a pleasure.
You too. I just, I think anything that has the potential to... I mean, obviously a sword is an instrument of war. It is an instrument of killing. And unfortunately, we live in such a world where that is more necessary than it should perhaps be. But stealing souls, having power over people, like you say, I don't think that's... I mean, for one, it's just no fun for anyone else.
But it doesn't just steal souls, does it? And then before I realise what I said, I look away and almost don't acknowledge that I said that.
Look, I just think your own morals being what they are, I don't know, but I know I wouldn't want it.
Then why are you competing for it?
Because no one should have it.
So you should have it.
No, I don't think I should.
Well,
So what are you going to do with it? Not break it.
Would that be so bad?
It would... I don't like you people. You have
Would you like someone to steal your soul?
No, of course not.
Well then,
But as I said, I am not going to use it. I am just going to own it and lord it over people. What is wrong with that?
what if you don't win it?
Then I don't win it, and I become part of someone else's story. It's not
What
such a
if-
problem.
someone else wins it and then they use it to steal your soul?
Well, obviously that would be terrible.
It would.
We could make another sword and we could destroy the real one and you could have the fake one and be the winner.
And tell
get the
everyone it's real.
glory, but not have your soul stolen.
That's an interesting idea, little one.
I think that only works, Juniper, if you don't let them know.
No, I trust everyone in this room implicitly.
Flint, could
Yeah.
you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
I sure can. That's okay.
If someone's
That's,
doing magic, can we see if they're doing any componenty things?
Make a perception check.
That's a 19.
Okay.
Man.
So, Flint, you feel this odd cold sensation at the back of your neck. And as you start to focus on it and lose concentration on the conversation, you think, oh, somebody's trying to do something. And then the masked individual says, we need to work together. And Flint, you think that that's a really good idea.
Even with a 19. Wow, okay. I turn to the group and go, so, we're all working together then?
As long as it gets me to the end, that's all that matters.
I think it's a great idea. Friends.
Is there anyone I consider more of a friend after this, or?
You don't necessarily consider them a friend, but you just think that they've made a reasonable suggestion.
But I don't know who
No.
that is. necessarily.
No, and
Okay.
you only heard their voice in your head. Nobody else heard it.
Yeah. Sure, what are we waiting for?
Is there a door?
This time, there's no announcement, but when you seem to agree that you're all working together and the hostilities go away, the room starts to move again. And it seems to twist so that its left side is facing the center of this grand chamber that you're in. And you start to move to this central column that lies in the middle of this chamber. And it finally connects with this column. And the door opens and you find yourself in a large circular chamber that doesn't have clear walls this time. And the larger group of you are faced with that room, but the floors are blank marble, the stones are blank marble. Attached to the ceiling, however, is a stone, a rather large boulder with an elegant sword hilt jutting down into the room from it.
I think this might be what we came for.
See, that's probably likely.
Certainly looks that way. So, first to the sword, I suppose. And Six starts to run in.
Well,
Can I see
that's
anything else? Sorry.
He asked for it, and I fly up there.
as,
You
As
fly
he-
up. Yep.
as he takes off, I go, that's not fair. He's got wings.
That's true, but I've got a very tall... Oh! And Luke just zooms past him. Because
Is
it's
there
faster.
anything else in this room?
Make a
at all?
perception check.
15.
Doesn't appear to be.
Okay.
Just the stone and the sword on the ceiling. Okay, so Luke, you get there first because you are faster.
What does the hilt look like? Is it sitting down?
It is, yes. It's pointing down towards the center of the floor. Make a perception check.
What is my perception? 5.
5. Looks like a fairly generic sword hilt from what you can tell.
Okay. And the rock that it's stuck into, does that
Mhm.
look like anything special?
Looks like a boulder to you.
Cool. Okay.
Rough hewn, has a slit where the sword goes into it. Fairly tight on the sword blade.
Okay. I get my quarterstaff out again, and I give it a tentative prod to see how loose it is, if it reacts at all.
Okay, are you touching the hilt?
Yes.
Okay. You touch, there's a soft ding. Nothing happens. The sword does not even wobble.
Okay. Is there any of the blade that's visible?
A tiny sliver just where it joins the rock.
Okay. I get the quarterstaff between... What are they called? Like the finger guards?
The crossguard.
Crossguard. Okay, is there room to get the quarterstaff between the crossguard and the rock?
Just.
Okay.
Would be a tight fit. You'd maybe have to work it in a little bit.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Then I'll try and prise it down.
Okay. Make a strength check then.
No. Doing it quickly. 8.
Okay. So you jam it in and your staff just slips out of the gap. Doesn't move.
Whilst Luke is doing this, can I just take 3 more animal skeletons out of the bag of holding.
Of course you may.
And do animate dead at
Again.
4th level.
Yeah, you may, absolutely.
Are the other adventurer type people doing anything at this point?
Yes, so they can see that Saluk is struggling. So Sixth, the large man, and the masked person are going over to it. The masked person seems to be holding under their chin and examining as the larger person lifts Sixth up above his head and places his feet on his shoulders. Sixth looks a bit surprised that this is happening and then goes, well, I suppose it's my turn, and tries to grab for the sword. Again, that rolled all over the place. And you can see that he's really trying, and he has actually surprisingly large biceps. Pulls, nothing happens. And he's just going, ha ha, it's just a matter of time. And he puts the second arm to it. Again, nothing happens.
Does it seem to be magically stuck in there, or is it just a case of being stuck in there?
I would say you'd probably have to get closer in order to discern that.
Using my scope, so it's stuck into rock, sort of
Yes.
sword and a stone style. Anything about the rock that strikes me as odd?
Roll a stone cunning check.
26.
The stone appears to be granite, and that makes you think that it should be quite heavy. So in order to secure it to the ceiling, it would have to have a very strong strut,
Okay.
or be somehow lighter in order to stay up there as firmly as it is.
Do there appear to be any magical effects on it?
How would you possibly tell that?
I mean, I am able to identify.
Are you casting Identify on the stone?
I guess I could. That would take 10 minutes. Detect magic. Well, detect magic.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So you put it together. You know that the sword is very strongly magical. The
Okay.
rock, however, is not.
Okay. And I can't tell anything else structurally about the room at all?
Not really, unless you do an investigation check of the room, and obviously you'd have to get quite close to the stone and sword in order to investigate that.
I'll send Truffle up. I'll send
Okay.
Truffle up and look through the stone.
Roll an investigation check for Truffle then.
Okay. So that will be 22.
Truffle zips around a little bit and rotates around the rock. Looks just near Saluk, looks where he was trying to pull the sword out and prise it out, and then looks just at the base of the boulder. And you look through your scrying stone and you see that there's a small gap between the stone and the ceiling. And with Truffle's illuminated sight, you discern that the boulder is hollow, apart from the point where the sword meets it, where it juts in. And there is a vice mechanism holding the sword aloft.
Okay. I'm going to send Truffle in there and...
There's not a big enough gap for Truffle to get through.
Oh, okay.
It's that big. the
Right,
gap that
okay.
Truffle is able to sit through.
Okay. So it's like that, and then there's this big old hollow boulder.
Yeah, and Truffle can only just see part of it. It's leaning against that small gap with its eyes.
Okay.
It could get its beak through, but not the majority of his body.
Okay. Any mechanisms that look like they would prise the boulder
It
down?
looks like
or-
the vice mechanism is attached to the beam going across the ceiling. There's struts that go into the wood,
Okay.
but you'd have to hack into the wood of the beam in order to get at the mechanism and disable it.
Okay. I'll think on it if anyone else has anything they want to do.
I'm very hesitant to do anything until I know what the masked guy is doing. Very suspicious.
It's just looking at the sword, apparently.
Judging it to be relatively immovable from what I've seen, I'll grab onto the hilt with one hand
Mm-hmm.
and then kick to knock over the person that's standing on the other shoulders.
Okay, I would say
I'm
roll
going to enter into a bar fight.
an unarmed strike attack then.
22.
That will hit.
Can't you do something where you can hold back so it doesn't...
Yeah. You could just do a brief kick to wobble them. Okay, so yeah, they do that. What's that? Yeah, so there's a brief whoa as Sixth starts to fall. The guy holding him manages to grab his ankles, but not until he's horizontal. So there's a weird moment where the guy is horizontal over his back, and then he manages to awkwardly place Sixth down and go, "Oh, so we're having hostilities already then, are we?"
No hostilities. This thing is dangerous. Nobody must touch it or get hurt. We need to figure out what is going on. And then I'll with quarterstaff to start keeping a perimeter around the hill.
The large individual is just smelling the air. And then the person in the mask goes, "It's an enchantment. The sword, it's an illusion.
Oh,
A very strong one, but it's not real.
well, why didn't you say that sooner?
Because I didn't know. It takes time."
Oh, okay.
And who are you? Why should we trust you when you say this?
I know illusions.
He's still got the mask on, hasn't he? We can't see his face.
They have.
Do we recognise their voice at all?
Roll a history check.
18?
No. It's weirdly modulated through the mask. As if there is actually, rather than just the muffling that the mask would represent, as if it is changed by the mask being there somehow.
Okay.
Would Flint have heard of illusionary magic that can create something solid?
Roll an Arcana check.
21.
Usually not. You have quite an extensive knowledge of magic. You've never come across something that can make something solid as an illusion, but it's possible that the illusion has been cast on something of the same size and weight.
Could the vice on the inside be something to do with that? Or
Possible. You're not sure.
okay. Is there anywhere else in the room that might have either the real thing hidden or a sword hidden?
Roll an
or...
investigation check.
Probably not. 7.
No, the room appears to be blank marble wall and floor other than that.
Okay. Group huddle, everyone. Not all you folk, but
One giant.
we'll maybe take the gnome. Wait, come on.
That's
right.
very rude.
Well, you're late to the group. You don't get invited to the meetings. You never respond to our messages. Right. So everyone,
I'll remain at Violet.
cool. So here's what I've been able to ascertain. The boulder is floating around, I'd say less than an inch from the ceiling, and there's a vice on the inside that is holding this illusionary sword in place. There doesn't appear to be any way to move the boulder down. That's all I've got.
Do we even trust that this sword is even here? Does this knight person even own the sword?
The question is, why would they be giving it away in the first place? All I will say is that it's probably, probably for the best that we, obviously work together as much as we can, but we need to keep it out of the wrong hands. Speaking of which, I realise I'm delivering all of this. Am I still under the impression that it would be a really good idea to work together?
You technically are, because you're still working together to get the sword.
Okay.
It's the same with more.
If that makes sense, because you haven't completed the action.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that seem fair or does that seem unfair?
Yeah, no, that's fine. So, yeah, any suggestions as to how we might get rid of the boulder?
Can we break it?
It's hollow. We can definitely try. I've got a big gun.
Yeah, do you not want to just blow it up or blow a hole in it?
I'll send someone else first. And I'm going to send Truffle up because I think he has a burrowing speed. Let me check.
Oh,
I think you're right.
Where is this knowledge?
Yeah, he has a burrowing speed of 30 feet.
Okay.
Wow.
So, Truffle burrows into the boulder. It's slow going to start with, but then breaks through. What are you wanting him to do once he's through?
Can I say anything additional now that
You can see the vice holding the blade of the sword in place.
Okay, but nothing pertaining to the boulder itself?
No, it's just hollow.
Okay, Truffle's gonna get to work on the vice then, I guess.
Okay, I would say make an attack roll then.
Okay, before he does that, I'm just gonna send Truffle down to fly next to Saluk for a bit and whisper through the sending stone. It might drop in a moment, so get ready to catch it. And then I'm gonna send him back up and attack! That's a 19.
Truffle hammers his beak on the vice, and you can see that flecks of metal are flying off it. Seems like he's slowly doing a bit of damage. It's taking him some time, and the noise is audible, so everybody's attention is drawn towards it. Eventually, the vice is damaged enough that you hear this, and the sword starts to fall.
I grab for the hill.
Yeah, so you grab it. Can you make a wisdom saving throw for me, please?
It's not that game where you have. Is it like they drop a rat down a stick or something? You have to hit
Oh,
it with it?
whack-a-mole.
Oh, what?
Whack the rat.
Oh,
Yeah.
the Mitchell and Webb sketch.
Let me wish you luck. Yeah.
Really good.
18.
18. Okay, so you feel this strange coldness spread up your arm for a moment, and it feels like the nerves are screaming at you, but you just tense your arm and you push the pressure away. And then the sword in your hand ripples, and you see that it just turns into a wooden toy sword. The hilt is still the same material that you gripped before, and it's quite nice, but the blade is just wooden.
Might still be the soul sword. Who knows?
Baloo lets out an angry squawk and tosses it away across the room.
It skitters with a and then a voice comes over the sound system, but it's not Sir Olamphi's. Well done. I'm impressed. But I really need you to help me find the sword now. And the chamber starts to drop ever so slightly from the ceiling, and then spirals slowly to the right before hurtling upwards. And as you all start to feel a little bit like the skin on your faces is peeling back as you're staring up as it moves, there's a sudden judder as it stalls to a stop. And then over the sound system, there's a they all look so funny. And then the ceiling starts to open in panels that slowly spiral down into a staircase, and a few individuals start to come down. One of them pushed quite vehemently, and you see the slightly bloodied and terrified form of Sir Olamphi stumble down the stairs. Her feet are bound, as are her wrists, and she has a very bloody nose. And you see the half-orc girl, Funbuns bouncing happily as she trots down the stairs after. And with her, you see following an individual in a dark blue cloak that hides the top of their face. A little creature twirls and untwirls its tail around their right arm. It seems to be green and have flaps of skin adjoining its arms to its long tail, but no rear legs, and a draconic-looking face. And as this individual slowly seems to drift down the stairs, they turn to all of you as you see the other individuals in the room who were with you gather their weapons slightly, particularly the sixth cord, as if they recognize this person. And then you see the left hand come up and just come to the face underneath the mask. But the left hand is made of metal. So, you beat the competition. Now, you're going to help me beat Sir Olamphi into telling me where the sword is. I want it back. And that is where we're going to end tonight's session.
Does that mean another week of Adam?
Yes, hopefully.
Yay!
I'm sorry, goodbye.
I'm glad we didn't kill Adam.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not. I
Not this
didn't get to kill you. I kill you.
The real Sword of Souls was the friends we made along the way.
Yeah.
Your friends are the ones who will suck you. Wait, what?
So you're in this chamber with this strange, threatening new arrival. We will pick up there next time.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you very much for playing. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you very much for listening. I hope you enjoyed it too. Everybody who wants to say bye, say bye.
Goodbye.
Ghost house.